Recoveries come in all different shapes and sizes, and there is no such thing as one size fits all. Here's Borgy and Leash to take you through one of the more complex recoveries that they did during their recent trip to Tasmania.
This season on the show, we had a few big recoveries. And today, I wanted to run you guys through how we dealt with a few of the biggest ones. Now, the first one that comes to mind is Lake Spicer and getting the big GQ up that nasty hill. Now, this situation was pretty tough because Leash was having some dramas with the engine on the GQ and it was running out of puff. So she got the GQ up as far as she could get it, and then it was time to winch. Well, it looks like the big patrol has got itself in a world of bother. It's trying to get up this steep section, but it's really rocky, scaly, and it just wasn't going forward anymore. So we've decided to winch her right up the top of it. The only problem is it's quite a fair way up, and there's a lot of weight when you consider that this is a heavy car and we've also got the camper trailer as well. But we do have a plan, and I'll walk you through it. So the first thing we're going to do is grab the tree trunk protector. That's going to go up around the tree, which is the anchor point, a fair way up there. Then we're going to hook up our winch extension strap. Now, this is a 20-metre version. The whole idea is we can bring it all the way down here before we hook up the snatch block. Okay, so what we've done here is hooked up an equaliser strap. The whole idea of this is it goes from one recovery point to the second recovery point and effectively spreads the load between the two of them. Much safer options. Plus, we've also used soft shackles as well instead of the original sort of steel ones. The main reason being they're much safer. If something was to go wrong, there's not as much force flying up and it's not going to hurt as much or do as much damage. Much safer option. Hook this on like so. All right, so what we're going to do here is hook up the snatch block. And the way we do that is we run the winch cable through that, just like so. Pop that back around. I'm going to use the bow shackle. I'm slipping down the hill. We're going to use the bow shackle to hook it up to the extension strap. Let's just poke that around there. Now, whenever you do the bow shackles up, always make sure you nip them up like so, and then just back slightly, because when this is under tension, it actually pulls it on really tight, and good luck getting it off after that. Now, the whole idea of this is we can now perform a double line pull. That will effectively double the torque of the winch and halve the strain as well. Okay, better pop this on. So I want all the metal parts to be covered by the blanket. That way, if anything happens, all the metal parts or the hurdy parts are going to be directed straight towards the ground as well. Pop that in there. Just like so. Next move. So make sure everyone's nice and clear out of the potential danger zone. So that's to the sides, back, forward and front. So all around the place, make sure everybody is well clear of the area. Apart from that, let's get some tension on this rope. Okay, so we switched from a double line pull to a single line pull just to get that length that we require. Now, it's not ideal, but all the recovery gear is rated for the task. You just got to make sure everybody's well out of harm's way. Definitely a thing you want to make sure of with this sort of recovery. This is a perfect example of us having to think on our feet and to try a whole bunch of different recovery options to get the job done. Now, this ranged from a double line pull with an extension strap to reach a decent recovery point to a single line pull when we didn't have enough cable to make the double line pull work. And just as things were looking good, the GQ's battery threw in the towel. All right, so we've run into a couple of little issues. The main one being the battery, or the start battery, which the winch is hooked up to, it's called it kaput. It was a little bit, how's your father, before we started, but this is a big heavy vehicle, towing a camper trailer up a hill. It's a lot of force, a lot of weight. And it's called it quits, so now we're going to come up with plan B. Okay, so the plan is, this is plan B or C, I lost count, but the plan is to bring back the mighty Jackaroo at the top of the hill, turn it around and use the Jackaroo's winch to pull the patrol, hopefully that way. Now, the only thing is we've got to make sure the Jackaroo doesn't get pulled down with the weight, so we can either anchor it up to another vehicle or up to a tree or do something like that, but that's the plan. Let's see if this one works. So, wouldn't you believe it? The rain's coming in, it's getting slippery, and we've got to get a bit of a move on here. Don't want to be caught in a storm, so we've got this extension strap. We've doubled it up to the equaliser strap on the front of Leash's vehicle, and it's going straight up to the Jackaroo's winch cable. Now Leash is doing all the right things here. She's keeping the wheels turning nice and slow, as slow as she can, but there was just no traction here at all. The video just doesn't show how steep and how loose this track was. Throw in some rain to make things even more slippery, and this is the perfect storm. That recovery took a good hour and a half, and it really shows how sometimes you need to use several different recovery methods to get yourself out of trouble. If you want more info on recovery tips and techniques, or you want to know what gear is best for you, head over to the Tough Dog website below. And if you want to check out any of our other recovery videos or find a kit that suits your four-wheel drive, make sure you check out the website too.